Hello students, welcome to AllCBTs. My name is David, and in today's special video we are going to take English oral questions, oral English, right? So these are the likely questions that you will find for your GCE, especially your GCE, but these questions you also find in your NECO GCE exams, and just about every O-level exam questions. These questions we are going to be taking majorly focused on the oral English assessment test. You're going to find it in about all O-level exams. So make sure you pay rapt attention. And if you have questions, please use the comment section to ask your questions, okay? I'm happy to relate with you. We are all learning, okay? Now, I have about 9 to 10 sections. I have pronunciation and stress. Let me see. I have pronunciation and stress. I have stress patterns. So I'm going to be giving you some examples on stress patterns. I'll use those examples to explain stress patterns. And then I have vowel and consonant sounds. So we're going to be looking at some vowel and consonant sounds. How do you pronounce words? These are likely questions that you will encounter. Even if these questions don't come exactly as these, they will come very close, very similar. So once you already have the idea of these questions, you do well. Then we have section 4, which is on dialogue practice. Okay, I won't go into it now until we get to that section. Then we have another social etiquette and cultural sensitivity. You'll be tested. Some questions will come out from this section, right? Then 6, cultural affairs and public speaking, right? So discourse, that's where you begin to see questions as discourse. So when you see questions as discourse, how do you articulate your thoughts and put it on paper? We're going to go into that. Then 7, expression of emotions and feeling. I saw a lot of these questions when I was going through the past questions. How would you express feeling? How will you express dissatisfaction? How will you express approval? So you might say in 100 words, how would you express this? So that's what we're going to check. And then section 8, problem solving and scenario-based questions. Yeah, if your car broke down, blah, 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 how do you get help? And then section 9, okay, oh, I only had 8 sections, so I only have 8 sections for you. Okay, so I have 8 sections here, but there are still about 2 more sections that I need to include. That's intonation. I want to teach you how to intonate, okay, and how to answer questions on intonation. So this is like the part 1. I'm still going to do a part 2 where I would go in depth into each of these sections and sections that I did not add to this section. So if you are joining us for the first time, I want you to smash that subscribe button, all right, and like the video. It suggests to YouTube that the content is good enough and they can push it to a larger audience of people. And if you have questions, please use the comment section. Also, don't forget that we have a very active Telegram group, although we just set it up, so, and it would be kicking off actually on Monday. So you can see the link to join that Telegram group where we're going to be sharing updates, we're going to be sharing likely questions, we're going to be doing a lot of talking and connecting. So go join that Telegram group. You see the link in the description of this video as we meet together and engage together. Now, without wasting more time, let's get into it. So this is the first section, section 1, pronunciation and stress. How do you pronounce words correctly? And where is the stress on words? This kind of questions okay, let's just get into it. Question 1, pronounce the word. When you see this word, you just call it environment, right? And use it in a sentence. So you may be asked to write this word based on how, to rewrite this word based on how it is correctly pronounced. Environment. And where is the stress? Where is the stress on environment? And to use it in a sentence. You see, that's like a lot of questions in one. So now environment is pronounced as this. Environment. Do you see that? Environment. This is how it's pronounced. This thing now that you just call environment is pronounced as environment. The correct tonation to pronounce it, and the stress is on va, environment. See, so the stress is always on the second syllable, environment. Now, use it in a sentence. I'm waiting for you. So you can say something like, the government is implementing new policies to protect its citizens, and the environment from pollution. All right. The Kick Against Indiscipline of Nigeria visits or checks in to environments in Lagos to ensure they are aligned to health and public safety. You know, just make sure that you articulate your thought first, then you put it on paper, but make sure you keep it brief and concise. Don't make it too long. It should be not too long, not too short. So the government is implementing new policies to protect the environment from pollution. Again, where is the stress on environment? Is on va, and va is where the stress is. All right, so that's that question. Well, let's see one or two more questions from this section. I actually did 3 questions per section. So, how do you pronounce the word colonel? Now, you see, it looks like colonel, but you don't pronounce it as colonel. It's colonel. Do you understand? You can even copy this word and paste it into your Google search and see how it's pronounced. Colonel. So, not colonel. So, how do you pronounce the word colonel? Excuse me, my team is not around today to do the editing of this video, so I'm just going to upload it like that. So there is no editing, yeah? So, because of so many people asking for this oral English questions, I just had to come and do it. So, how do you pronounce the word cornel? Cornel. Now, this is cornel. Cornel. And you see that? So, cornel. Cornel. Now, the O here, this O is silent. So, that's how you pronounce the word cornel. And then you also don't pronounce the L. You also don't pronounce the L. Cornel. Cornel. Alright. So, the O is silent. And then the stress is on where? The stress is on the first syllable. Cornel. Cornel. You can see that the first syllable has longer stress to the second one. So the stress is on the first. So now, okay, there's no other instruction. Just how do you pronounce? So that's how you pronounce the word cornel. Now, can you differentiate between the pronunciation of desert and desert? Now, they look the same, but very importantly, you must pay attention to this. This desert is in the noun, and this desert is in the verb, meaning that they mean different things. Desert here, name of a place. Desert, which is a place, a dry land, a land without vegetation. Now, desert means verb. In the verb, if I said the place, or desert the place, or people have deserted the place, means leave the place, go away from the place. Right? So this means to abstain from somewhere. This is actually a place, that as you know it in geography. Right? So can you differentiate between the pronunciation of desert and desert? Now, they both look alike, but they sound a little bit different. Now, I'll write it two for you. The first one, this desert, the noun is written as desert. You see that? And the second one is written as desert. See, desert, desert. Okay, desert, desert. There's still another one that is desert, Desert. Yeah, there's still another one that is desert, but as double S, which is like, which is like an appetizer. So you have desert, a place. You have dessert, or dessert. Dessert. I think that's dessert. You see, these sounds can play tricks on you, so you really need to understand it and focus. So dessert, verb, dessert, or disperse, leave there. And then you have desert, although this one has double S, like food. So desert, this desert means to abandon, to leave something. Desert in the noun means a place where there is no water, no vegetation, a barren land. Okay, that's good. Moving forward now, question 4. Okay, I think with that we are done with pronunciation and stress. Let's go to stress patterns. Stress patterns now. Okay, where is the stress in the word communication? Where is the stress in the word communication? Now, there are some tricks to some certain words. For example, the words that has prefix words that come with prefix. For example, impossible, there's a trick to that. Unstoppable, there's a trick to that. Communication, words that ends with shun, will often have their stress on something. You need to know all of these tricks. Maybe not tricks, they're just rules. So that when you meet them in the exam, you may not even need to dwell on them a lot before you can pick the answer. So the stress for communication is always on the communication. Communication is always on the third syllable. Communication. So communication. If the word is five syllabic words, communication, and hence with short, the stress would most likely be on the fourth syllable. That's your role. Communication. Now, identify the stressed syllable in the word unbelievable. Unbelievable. Identify the stressed syllable in the word unbelievable. The same thing with this one. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The stress is on the fourth. Unbelievable. You know, there is this funny way my school teacher taught me in SS1, SS2. It says for unbelievable as this, you can say unbelievable. Then you can go unbelievable. It doesn't work all the time, but it does work if you don't know the answer. It will work for you. So unbelievable. Now in this context, putting the stress on the fourth syllable, that would be unbelievable, which is correct. If I put it on the fifth one, it would be unbelievable. It's not correct. If I put it on the second one, it would be unbelievable. It's not correct. If I put it on the third one, it would be unbelievable. Unbelievable. Even when you can see that I'm still dragging the stress from the third into the fourth, because the stress actually is on the fourth. It's dominant on the fourth. So unbelievable. So the stress is there on the fourth syllable. Okay, how do you write this one? Let me write it for you. You write it as unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. All right. Let's move on to we're still on stress pattern. Let's move on to, let's see. Yeah, I only have 2 examples from here. Now let's go to vowel and consonant sound. I made a video where I did a lot of justice on this vowel and consonant sound. Let's see some examples. So we have, how do you pronounce the consonant in the word think and this? Think and this. Now, this one in think is different from the one in this. One is voiceless and one is voice. You have think, then this is voiceless. You don't hear that sound. You only hear the ink. Think, ink, think. But in this one, this, you hear the voice sound. This one, the sound is like this. This one, the sound is like this. Yes. So one has the voiceless sound, one has the voiced sound. So how do you pronounce the consonant in the word think? This is it, the sound. And how do you pronounce it in this? So just say voiceless and voice. So once you're not able to hear this TH sound, which should be, you don't hear it, then you can, it's right or it's okay. It's safe to say that it's voiceless. But we can hear it in this. So we can say this is voiced. So let me just read a little of what I noted down. It's pronounced as voiceless. It is produced by placing the tongue against the upper teeth and blowing air out. Okay? This other sound, voiceless sound, the tongue touches the upper teeth while producing a vocal sound. You won't be asked to give that explanation I just made out for you. This one. All you just need to do if you see this, how do you pronounce the consonant in the words? First, pronounce the words. Think. You can see the INK. It's the only one that comes out of your mouth. TH cannot be found, so that's voiceless. And this one. So you can contrast between the two. Number 7, how would you pronounce the vowel sound in the word cart? Cart. Even though it starts with C, but we are hearing the sound k. Alright, let's see that better. So how do you pronounce the word cart? The vowel sound in cart is a short R sound. Produce R. Okay. So the vowel, okay, now, very important, the vowel, not the consonant. I was focused on the consonant sound. The vowel sound. So what's the vowel sound? This one. The R sound there. So the R sound is coming out in cat as cat, R. The R sound I'm getting in cat is as this. R sound. Cat. That's the R sound. So this sound, you also found it in words like, let me see, like Bart, cat, bat. You find it in bat, heart, dat. You find it in bat. You find it in bat. You find it in heart, dat, heart. You find it in these two. Exactly those two. Okay, nice. Hope you're enjoying the class. If you're enjoying the class, please state in the comment section, I am enjoying it. If you want better explanation, or maybe I didn't get one of the answers correctly, please also point me out in the comment section. Okay, let's move on. Question section 4 now. Maybe we are going to 8 sections, so we're in the 4th section. Cursor is not moving. You wouldn't have seen all these spaces because we often edit all these spaces when I'm trying to move the cursor. Alright, so dialogue practice. This is an interesting one. Imagine you are at the airport and need to ask for directions to your gate. What would you say? To your gate. Okay? To your gate, maybe the gate of your house. Or, I'm not sure what gate it is here. Okay, maybe to a particular gate. I'm not sure, like your personal gate, the gates of your house. because you can't be asking for direction from Moritala Airport to maybe you are staying at Abulegba. No. So you are at the airport and need to ask direction to maybe, let's say, left wing gate or the gates to the Chicken Republic cafeteria or within the airport community or the surrounding of the airport. What would you say? How would you put it? So now people are passing by. You are at the airport. Would you just say, "Sir, where is the gate to?" No. There is a word you need to use. There is a word that you need to use that you are expected to use. And that word, you don't just go tapping people. And you know, I see a lot of people do that. Just pulling people and say, "Sir." No. You say, "Excuse me." So that's the word. So if you are making your response, that word must be there. If that word is not there, you just write. You might not be correct. You might be wrong. It might even be marked wrong. Some examiners would even give you a minus mark for that. So, excuse me. Excuse me. That's the first thing you say. "Can you please help me? I'm looking for gates, such and such a place. Or could you point me to gates? Excuse me, please, I need your help. Or please, could you help me? I need direction to gates." Right, so that's a very polite and formal way to request direction. You are at a restaurant and you want to complain about your meal. How would you express your dissatisfaction? Politely. Note that. Politely. Alright, so what's the word again? You want to complain about your meal. You just say, some persons say sorry. They want to get your attention. They say sorry. No, you don't say sorry. You not hurt the person or injure the person or what. Why are you saying sorry? So that's not the correct courtesy word. Okay, or courtesy phrase. You say, in this case also you use excuse me. Whenever you want to get the attention of someone, you use excuse me. Someone says excuse me, not excuse me, excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, look at the response I have for you. "Excuse me, I'm sorry to trouble you, but I'm not satisfied with my meal. The dish is a bit cold and I was expecting it to be served hot. Could you have it reheated or offer me an alternative?" You don't need to even go that long. That response I gave to you. Excuse me. You may not need to say, "Can I have your attention?" but you must say, "Excuse me." Because of course, once you say excuse me, the person is already looking at you, so you've gotten his or her attention. So excuse me, this food, I really wanted it hot, but it's cold. Or there seems to be too much oil in my food, in my jollof rice. I'm so sorry, but I really cannot eat it, or I do not enjoy it. Would you find a way to get that reduced, or would you offer an alternative? Likely. Okay, next question now. Okay, we are done with that section. And then we go to social etiquette. I'm covering all aspects and sections of oral English so that there is no reason why you don't have an idea. You know, many times in the exam, the reason why people fail is not because they didn't know the answer, but they did not have an idea, the slightest idea. So at least if you have an idea and you see options, you're able to say, okay, yeah, this is what to do, this is what to pick. So that's why I'm just having this with you. Okay, let's see the next question. Let me push it up on my slide. Social etiquette and cultural sensitivity. How would you apologize for being late to a meeting? Etiquette. How would you apologize for being late to a meeting? What would you say? Assuming we had a lot of time, but I don't want this video to be too long. I would have wanted you to type in the comment section before I said my answer. But in this case, you're late to a meeting and you want to apologize. I sincerely apologize for my lateness. I understand that punctuality is important and I appreciate patience. I'll make sure there is a better plan for me to arrive on time in the future. Or I'll ensure to arrive on time in the future. So, first of all, you apologize. So, I apologize for my lateness. I sincerely apologize for my lateness. You don't need to go into the details why you were late. No, because that could be seen as being defensive. Oh, it was the rain. Oh, it was a bad road. So, I understand that punctuality. I hope to be here by 8 o'clock and I just arrived. And I arrived 9 a.m. I'm really sorry for my lateness. I promise to make sure to keep on time in the future. Simple. Okay, question next. If you accidentally bumped into someone in a crowd, how would you apologize? Okay, especially you're at Oshodi and you are going and you accidentally bumped into someone. How do you apologize? You say, you cannot say that I'm blind. You are apologizing because you bumped into someone. So, oh, I'm so sorry. You understand? Oh, I'm so sorry. I bumped into you, I'm so sorry. Hope you're fine. Hope you're okay. So, and if the person's personal belongings has fallen to the ground, you pick it up and hand it to the person. Okay? Now let's move on. I want us to try to cover all within the few minutes we have left. Number 6 now, cultural, current affairs and public speaking. Describe your opinion on the impact of social media on youth today. Now this is what description essay, description analysis. What is your opinion? You are being asked your own thoughts, your opinion on the impact of social media on youth today. Now before you write this, please articulate your thoughts first. What do I want to write? So that you don't mess up your answer booklet. Right? Because examiners like neat booklets. So what I want to write within a few seconds, okay? Then you don't just go to say, oh, social media is bad. That's your own opinion. No. There is nothing that has a bad side that doesn't have a good side, and vice versa. So first thing you want to talk about is the good, in a short introduction, then praise the positive side of social media, because if not for social media, you probably won't be watching it now. Then you now go to the bad side, then you now come to your conclusion. Let me give you an example. Social media has both positive and negative impacts on youth. On one hand, it allows for greater communication and social awareness. Many people use social media to stay connected with friends. However, it also has its downsides, such as exposure to cyberbullying, misinformation, and pressure to conform to unrealistic standards. It is important for young people to use social media responsibly. So you might be given in 50 words, in 100 words, so ensure that you stay within it. So the first thing, intro to social media, discuss the positive side. If you want to make your point on the negative side, then dwell on your point. After you stop very briefly on the positive side, and then you come to your conclusion. Okay. Next, describe how the use of technology is changing education in schools. Right. So this also has positive and negative side. So based on the little explanation I've given you, you'll be able to answer that, right? Hi, I'm sure you enjoyed the content you just watched. To see more episodes as that, preparing you for your oncoming exams, smash the subscribe button on this channel right now and visit the playlist that we've made for you, covering over 50 types of different exams, including JAMB, WAEC, Kakao,